Alright, good morning. Brian Baker with Hunt Fish Camp. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. I'm taking my neighbor Garrett out fishing today. He's out there in the boat already. We're gonna go see if we can catch some pike, some bass. Who knows, we'll see. I'm also gonna give, for those of you who haven't fished this pool before, I think I'm gonna make a little tour video. So we're gonna run through Somers Chute, and I'll pull up the map and just show you kind of where you can and cannot run, or usually where I run, and hopefully that'll save you a little bit of time trying to figure out how to get where you want to go. Let's rock and roll. Alright, so this is just going to give you a quick overview of Pool 7, where you can run and where you can't run. If you want to see the full fishing video, there'll be a tag at the top of this video, and I'll also have a link down in the description if you want to check that out and see how we did. Got a bunch of pike, a couple big bass. It's a pretty good day. Of course, you always need to use caution, and even though I run certain places, it doesn't mean there aren't stumps out there, and the sand is constantly changing, so it's always got to be careful on where you're going and paying attention to what you're doing. So on this day, we took off up here at this boat landing there. It's Fred Funk Boat Landing, and it came out and ran across the lake, past the islands, all the way up through the chute there, up the main channel, and then down Somers and out the chute. So that's the general route that we took. And so I just want to show you all the little things that you need to avoid within these areas. Okay, so things to avoid. So all of this section here, so there is sand and shallow flats and everything and stumps, all this stuff up along this. These are areas where I do not run. This is where I would idle only. I actually hit a stump in the video, and that happened. I used the green for that. That was out in here somewhere. I was idling up into the weed flats there looking for pike and hit a stump, so you'll see that. So this is the Dresback Slough, so that's an area as well that now once you figure that out, you can run through it, but it's a sketchy area. If you haven't been here before, I wouldn't go running out into there right away. But areas that you can run, so stick to the main channel out here. And most people, if they come through the lock, they'll run out across there is your safest bet, and you can run right into the lake on either side. Is totally fine. If you keep going to the upper end of the lake, you can run any of that, but then once you get to about this line here, that's where you need to slow it down and idle. We've got shallow water up there, and then above, if you keep going up, you get more and more stumps up above there as well. Alright, so zoomed in view on this lower end. So again, you've got the lock down here, and where you need to run there is you run straight out this way and up. So where people go, I do run out across up this little channel, but as I showed before, so be careful up along there, because that stump field, shallow, gets weedy, kind of crazy. There is a big, you can see the sand here, there's a big sand flat that forms right out in here that I need to be careful of as well if you are going to be going up into a Dresback. But of course the main channel out here is totally fine for running around. Okay, so this is just a more detailed look. This is Somers Chute right here that you can run up and down. There's good water in there. But then it's the sand. You can see it on the map a little bit too, the sand down here. So definitely don't run through any of these little chutes. Okay, so if you're going to run down Somers, you run down, you hug that left shoreline. You actually have to go between some logs laying there now. And when you come out, you actually take a little bit of a left turn, or if you're coming from the other direction, I guess either way, and then you curve out into the lake and go wherever it is you want to go. There are a couple of stakes out there, so there's a couple of, somebody had put some stakes there. One has a flag on top of it, so you might be able to see that, and that can help you see where you need to go. If you want to run straight out, so you used to always just run straight out through that, but you have to run probably 100 yards of 1.5 foot of water over sand. So you probably can make that, but you take this paint off your skeg doing it. The other spot, there are some marker posts. There's a couple marker posts down here. You can see the yellow there very well. Showing where that little cut is going in. So if you are going into Black Deer or the Fred Funk Boat Landing, there's a little way to weave your way in through all of that. Okay, areas to avoid up in here, so be really careful up in this. That's super shallow, and where I hit when I was running, I was actually coming out of that chute and headed back up in, got up on plane, and I cut the corner just a little bit too tight. I was actually following an old track, and I ran right into the mud, and probably 6 inches of water is what it looked like as I was running over it. I made it back to the channel that's there. Yeah, so do be careful running any of that. And then of course up here, this becomes super shallow, and then anything above Fred Funk up that way is major stump field, so that stuff you need to idle, be careful on. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, and gives you a little confidence on where you can go out on Lake Onalaska on Pool 7. If you're out searching for fish, get out there and find some.
Let's work.
Alrighty. Yeah. 3.5, I'd say. Good one. Alright, thanks for watching that the lake breakdown. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit on where you can run around back at the landing now. A couple places, if you are coming up here to fish, and there's a big high school tournament here, the World Finals, here in just a couple weeks or next week. So if you're up here for that and you're unsure about something, just send me a message, and I'll do what I can to help you out there. So hopefully you don't run around and hit something. I should add, even though those places where I ran, there are stumps and logs and all sorts of stuff, so run around at your own risk, but always need to be careful and be watching. But hopefully this will help you out, at least have some places to start, or a little bit of confidence, places you can go or places you shouldn't go. But good luck.